Let's rock.
Hey YouTube, Alone with Company here. Thanks for tuning in. I want to talk to everyone about using airsoft and pellet guns as supplemental tools to your live firearm for training purposes. I just want to talk about some of the pros and cons of airsoft, the capabilities, limitations and shortcomings that it obviously has, and just talk about some of the fun that comes along with it. Me and a friend of mine have purchased tons of pistols, rifles, and all the sorts in between, and we've got a lot of information to share with you because there are a lot of pros and there are a lot of cons. So I'm just going to jump right into it. There's going to be a lot of information I can't cover because I want to keep this video hopefully not too long. So some of you guys might recognize this gun. You know, fully sanctioned from Beretta, but if I can get the clip, it is just simply a pellet gun, pellet rifle, but it's a pretty damn sweet one. The first thing that you want to keep in your head always is no matter what pistol that you buy, you basically never want to shoot farther than your gun will allow without having some sort of trajectory, or in other words, an arc to the flight path of the BB. Once you start lobbing bullets in and getting, 20, 30, 40 feet away, and your gun can't take it and you have to aim high and compensate for that, you're negating any training that you would have got, any realistic training you would have gotten from it, because you're not going to be arcing your bullets at that distance, but with an airsoft you have to. So find out how far your gun can shoot straight and stay within that limitation so you have no trajectories whatsoever. Otherwise, like I said, you're going to be hurting your training. Obviously cheaper guns, their trajectory is going to be a little bit more pronounced. You get a little higher, in the higher ends it's going to be a little bit better and you can get a little bit farther out. But whatever pistol or rifle you get, find that sweet spot and stay at least within that. Now, if you get a crappy gun, FPS is a little bit low, that window is probably only going to be about 5 yards or 15 feet. If you get a better gun, like this KWA Mark IV, so far, highly recommended, you can shoot about 15 feet or more with this gun, because it flies that far accurately, because it has an internal adjustable hop-up, which I'll get to that a little bit later. So, like I said, find the pistol, whatever pistol you get, find that sweet spot, and don't go out of it. Now, this can be a great way to practice drills and theories, 2 to the body, 1 to the head. If you stay within your distance window, it can be a great way to get kids into the shooting sports and teach them fundamentals. Like this 1911 is an exact 1-1 representation It's got the safeties in the correct spot, the magazine release is in the same spot. You know, it's got last shot hold open and slide release, hammer, operational beaver tail safety that does work. So I want to talk about the 4 different types of airsoft and airsoft pellet guns that I know of. I might miss a category, but this is basically it. You have like this Mark IV 1911 here. This is a green gas system that shoots airsoft. So basically you take your can of green gas and fill up the clip, which has the air reservoir in here, fill up your BBs, and you're ready to rock. When your gas is low, you just repeat the process, fill it up, and away you go. I do prefer the green gas at the moment because you can buy cheap propane and just simply get a little adapter so you can use propane out of your green gas gun. You can get 2 of these for $5 or $6. It's a much bigger can than this green gas can, which this costs about $15 for this tiny little thing, and I can get 2 of these for $5 or $6. The only positive side of using green gas is it doesn't stink like propane when you shoot it, and with propane you have to add your own silicone oil. Big deal. I'll do that to save some money. Now the other type that we've got is CO2, the 12-gram cartridges, which I don't really have one to show you. There's one in there, just your typical Crossman. 12 grams CO2. You unscrew, slap your cartridge in, screw it down, it'll pressurize inside, and blah blah. This one shoots airsoft. And then a third category would be spring-powered, single-shot airsoft, which this Walther P22 is. Again, it's got the clip release in the exact same spot. This is a 1-1 representation. If you don't believe me, here's my Walther P22 Phobos holster, and it fits in there just fine. It's a little snug in this holster, but it does fit. It even has the rail and everything. You can see also the 1-1 representation here is a Blackhawk Serpa level 2 and my nice orange tip airsoft. Look at that. Fits perfect. So it's kind of fun that they're doing exact 1-1s, and you can get your holster and find your gun if they make it. They probably do, and you can start training with it in ways that you probably couldn't before, that your range wouldn't allow, or whatever. You can do it at home for pennies on the dollar. So the last one, which I don't have an electric pistol here, but the machine gun in the beginning of the video, that was an electric machine gun. You can probably tell the difference. So those are the 4 categories I know of: the CO2 12 gram, the green gas system, spring operated, and electric. In my personal experience, the CO2 12 grams are the worst option to buy. They fail constantly. This Taurus 24/7 is my buddy's, and he's gone through 5 or 6 of these within 2 months. He bought 2 of them because he has a Taurus 24/7 in real life, a 9mm, and one gun broke after 2 clips of usage. Another one broke after like a day or 2. One of them's still running strong and has been for like 6 months now. But the problem with all of these CO2 12 gram cylinders is right back here. You've got that gas valve that the hammer hits and releases a little bit of the gas right here and sends the airsoft down the barrel. This is always going to be typically your first fail point on any of these airsoft guns if it uses these 12 gram piece of crap cylinders. You're gonna go to put in a new cartridge one day, and as soon as you pierce the canister, it's just gonna start pouring CO2 out of this back valve, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Keep your hands away from it because it's extremely cold and you could potentially get frostbite from that escaping gas. So, not that all CO2 cylinder ones are horrible. We do have some like this one actually that he's had for, this is my buddy's as well, that he's had for years and it's still going strong. However, this is a, yeah, this is a pellet pistol, not airsoft. I don't know how much of a difference that makes really, but that one's still going strong. Now, you guys should also check out one of my previous videos, which is pistol sights stop using them. Link here, there, somewhere. I'll put one up. And watch that video after you watch this, and you'll see some of a couple other aspects that go along nicely with this video. So now I'm going to talk about the BBs. We're just talking airsoft now. Airsoft. I'm not going to get into pellets or true BB guns, but I definitely recommend using the at least 0.2 gram BBs. The stuff that you're used to seeing in Walmart and all that, those are 0.12 gram BBs. Shoot at least the 0.2s or the 0.25s or higher. They make them all the way up to like 0.4, I think. You don't really need those unless you're shooting a sniper rifle. But if you use the crappy quality 0.12 BBs, you're going to start to notice that after about 10-15 feet, they're going to be doing a whole bunch of this and swerving all over the place. They don't have enough mass to keep the spin and the trajectory straight enough. Get at least the 0.2s or heavier. And don't get shitty BBs because it'll damage the components of your gun. So, I recommend getting the black BBs because you can't see them as well when you're shooting at a target. I don't want to see where my airsoft bullets are going because I'm doing this as a hopefully realistic training tool for my gun, and when I'm shooting my 9mm or even a 22, I can't see where the bullets are going because they're going so damn fast. So maybe if you're kind of new to all this and you're not that great of a shooter, get the white BBs because you can see the airsoft going and it'll help you, lock in on your target. But once you get good enough, or if you already are, switch to the black because then you can't really see the BBs, and then you just really have to compensate over, just with the feeling of your body and all that. So, never ever reshoot BBs. Don't catch the BBs and reshoot them because they're gonna be cracked and they're gonna have chips out of them, and you're just asking for a disaster. Alright, just don't do it. It's not worth it. This is 5,000 rounds I bought for 15 bucks. So you do the math of per round, and you're getting like 100 shots for a penny or something like that. So, hop up is something important to have in your gun. This 1911 has an adjustable hop up, which I can't really show it to you. But basically, at the beginning of the barrel, there's a little rubber contact that actually protrudes into the barrel of the gun a little bit. It's basically just a little piece of rubber. And when the BB is fired, it puts a little bit of backspin onto that airsoft bullet. And on this particular weapon, it is adjustable. So if you notice that it's shooting a little bit low left or high right or whatever, you can adjust this hop up with a hop up tool and dial in your gun, which just makes it even more accurate for longer distances. Not all guns have hop up, and not all guns have adjustable hop up, so it's something to definitely want to have in your gun. It doesn't have to be adjustable, but of course it's nicer. You can dial it in. So, problems. Never, ever drop your magazine for any gun, whether it's a green gas or a CO2. On all of the guns, the clip is the heart and soul of the gun, and like I said, it's always going to be your first fail point is going to be the clip. The pistol is just a trigger. That's all it is. But on both green gas and with CO2, this is your gunpowder. Alright, if you don't have gunpowder, your bullets aren't obviously going to fire down the barrel. Never ever drop these. like with trying to practice doing a tactical reload or a speed reload, don't drop it out on the ground and then slap in a new one. I hate to say it, it kind of sucks, but always do a retention mag change. I already really told you that with the CO2, that this gas valve back here is always going to be the first thing to go. So far with this green gas pistol, to be honest, you can tell that me and my friend have bought a lot of airsoft guns in the past, present, and definitely in the future. Alright, so all these here are BB or pellet guns, and from the Taurus here up, those are all airsoft. I got a Walther PPK, Taurus 24/7, Beretta 92, Beretta 92, 1911 of course, M&P, Smith & Wesson, Walther P22, Walther P99, Beretta. So I mean, you guys can get pistols, airsoft pistols or pellet pistols, for the same firearm that you have to make your practice with them a whole hell of a lot easier and more effective. The exact same frame, size, potentially weight, depending on which one you buy and how much money you want to spend. And to be honest, we were getting really fed up with buying new guns all the time because they were breaking, or having to exchange them because they broke within a clip or two, take them back to the store, get another one, bring that one home, that one frickin' breaks too. And honestly, we bought this KWA together because it's not cheap. I'll be honest, this was a $165 airsoft gun. Yeah, I know, wow. But this was our last ditch effort. Instead of buying these 60, well they used to be 40, now they're up to 60, bastards. Instead of buying these cheaper ones that seem to break all the time, it was our last ditch effort. Alright, we're gonna spend the money and get a high quality KWA. And if this thing breaks after a month, then we're done with airsoft, because just getting sick of it. So far we've had this one for, well, half a year. I think we got it in the beginning of the summer, and so far it's going strong. Something with the higher end ones is you can actually replace some of the components of the gun. And with these cheaper Dunham's store, Sport Mart type of pieces of crap, you can't really do that. So far, I'll give an update if that changes, but the KWA has been awesome, and so far is definitely worth the money. You saw me stick it in a Serpa Level 2 Blackhawk holster. It fits perfectly. I've got the rail on the bottom of this model. They make 4 different models of this particular gun. So, green gas versus propane. I already talked a little bit about the green gas, 15 bucks. One of these, $3 or $4. This comes with the silicone oil already in the canister. This one does not. Big deal. Another plus to using the propane is you get on average 20 feet per second faster than you do with the green gas. It could be simply because the canister is bigger and it can hold a higher pressure. I don't really know for certain. Choosing a pistol. Do not get caught up on feet per second. You'll see people advertise 400 feet per second, 480 feet per second. They're lying to you. Plus, feet per second does not, excuse me, equate to accuracy or even distance as much as you would think it would. This KWA Mark IV shoots 340 roughly with green gas and 360, 370 with propane. They actually advertise that on their website, I believe, and it's true. There's plenty of YouTube videos where you can see people shooting them through a chronograph, and that's correct. You can also see them shooting guns that say they're, you know, good for 500 feet per second, and they're only spitting out 280. That's what you get with kind of buying the cheaper ones. Now, price does tend to matter with an airsoft gun. I hate to say it, price doesn't usually always matter, but in this case, it does. Some of the higher end guns that we've gotten have run or are still running at the moment, or could be a couple years old. The cheaper ones are breaking down and now become toys for my... Pretty much the last thing I want to say on this video is, if you got any more questions, or if you're really thinking about trying this as a supplemental tool, if you have any questions that I can't answer, or you don't want to ask me at all, go check out Crazy NC Man. I learned a lot from this guy. He's got a real big YouTube channel on here. It tells you tons of reviews for tons of guns, explains things in greater depth than I could or want to. So go check him out. He's got a great channel. And thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you all soon.